the Hearts support, of course, swelling the crowds around the 40,000 mark. Was all ticket, but there are one or two gaps only inside the stadium. And a vital game indeed. Rangers trailing Hearts by 3 points in the league with a game fewer played. Really have to win this one to retain their Premier League challenge. And Neil Berry concedes the first corner kick of the match. Stuart Munro pushing forward on the left flank. So Davie Cooper will take the corner kick, and there's Craig Patterson making a welcome return to the Rangers side after being out of the scene since March of this year. He cost £225,000 from Hibs 4 years ago. It's Cooper's corner. Butcher got a touch. Burns. And the deflection, but it's saved on the line by Henry Smith. Though Hugh Burns making his first contribution to the match. He's been restored to the Rangers side to add bite in midfield in place of Cammy Fraser. Good header that by Ferguson under pressure from Clark, but Clark has it now for Hearts. Hearts still finding it very difficult to get forward and put pressure on the Rangers defence. There's Durant now releasing Robert Fleck on the left. That's good play from Fleck. And bundled down by Berry. Neil Berry racing back to help out in defence after Robert Fleck made that superb turn, showing great acceleration as he came inside. So once again, the set piece will be initiated by Davie Cooper's cross, and it's turned behind. Sandy Clark was back marking Craig Patterson, and he had to concede the corner kick. So it certainly has been a promising opening as far as Rangers are concerned. They've been carrying the bulk of the pressure. So a Cooper in swinger once again. Far post ball, Smith at full stretch with Patterson hovering. There's Durant's return cross, there's Butcher. And Henry Smith takes that one much more comfortably. But he certainly was under pressure from that Cooper corner kick. A superb ball. Flighted towards the far post. Smith at full stretch, touched it away from Craig Patterson. And when Durant's cross came in, Butcher sent the powerful header straight at the keeper. Butcher's header. Black and Ferguson together, but it breaks for Nicol. So the centre backs exchanging passes for Rangers, Patterson and Butcher. This is Butcher. Good running by McCoist. Back to Cooper. Going away from Kidd. And there's Burns at the far side. Now McCoist and Fleck. Well, not just one excellent chance, but two. And both missed by Rangers. Created on the left by Davie Cooper. Look at the way it takes on Walter Kidd. Heads for the byline. The deep cross returned by Hugh Burns. There was Ali McCoist with a great chance first of all. It broke down to Fleck, and how did he manage to put that over the top? And Davie Cooper standing on the near touchline screaming for a long pass. Here's Derek Ferguson. Well, Rangers showing plenty of patience, retaining possession at the back, looking for the openings to develop, waiting for movement from the front men. There goes Robert Fleck, he's onside. Good control from Fleck, he needs support in the middle. There's McCoist, and it's off the line by Jordan. And McCoist has taken a face knock, but that was marvellous play once again from Rangers. Butcher setting it up with a long ball forward. Just look at Fleck sprinting into position, controlling the ball brilliantly, turning away from Henry Smith, chipping it across from McCoy to dive bravely for the header, and there was Jordan to head clear on the line. Well, there's the applause for Ali McCoist, coming back on his feet. Patterson to Fleck. Derek Ferguson takes over from Patterson. And Fleck once again has found good position for Rangers. There's McCoist! Well, they don't come any better than that. And certainly no more than Rangers deserve. Well, there certainly was a touch of fortune about the goal. Robert Fleck making space for himself coming deep. Turning, going forward, he definitely was attempting a shot at goal. He didn't catch it properly, but look at that for the finish from Ali McCoist. So goal number 15 for the Rangers centre forward, and any doubts about his recent form being rapidly dispelled by a performance which has been outstanding in the opening quarter of an hour and capped by that superb goal. Robertson, now Cahoon showing his pace, brought down by Patterson, and that was a bad foul by the Rangers centre-half, and he's going to be booked. Well, it was a fine break that from Hearts. John Robertson set it up with that little head flick forward. Cahoon clearly had the legs of the Rangers defenders, was going away from them, and Patterson brought him down from the back. He really can have no complaints at all about the booking. Header from McDonald. Here's Cahoon to Berry. Mackay rather with Ian Durant. Here's Kenny Black now coming forward. Very positive run and calmly dealt with by Stuart Munro. Rangers furious that the linesman has indicated to the referee it was a corner kick. And indeed the referee has given that decision. Stuart Munro was one of the players who looked aggrieved for Rangers. Sandy Clark, the key man in the box now for Hearts. Black flooding it in. Up goes Black. The header down, and it's saved on the line from Robertson. Chris Wood's in the right position. But a fine corner kick move that from Hearts. There's McCoist. Appeared to be played off the ball by Sandy Jordan. Is it a throw or a free kick? No, indeed it's a free kick to Rangers. There's Hugh Barnes. Fleck controlling it. It's easily picked up by Jordan. Jimmy Nicholl on the save from Henry Smith. It was Kenny Black who was caught napping. Well, Jimmy Nicholl almost opening his account for the season for Rangers. Picking up that pass. Black was sleeping, he drove it in, and Smith did well to push it behind to the corner. There's Cooper's corner kick. A bit of pushing inside the box. Free kick's been given. Terry Butcher is the culprit. Berry playing it into the path of Kidd. Here's Sandy Clark. Still Durant is challenging for Rangers, but it's Clark who holds him off, waits for support, gets it from Mackay. Kidd towards Clark. Clark goes down, howls for a penalty kick from the Hearts end, but not from Sandy Clark, in fairness to the player, and the referee certainly in no way interested. Certainly appeared to be a fair challenge as Clark came forward. So Neil Berry will take the throw. Clark again getting his head to it. There's Craig Patterson, laid out by Cooper. Cahoon towards Kidd. A bit unlucky, John Cahoon. Was backing into Kidd. Butcher's header, a foot up by Sandy Clark, giving a free kick to Rangers for dangerous play. Right on the touchline, the right arm raised aloft to indicate that it's indirect, as though that matters from that situation. And Sandy Clark getting involved in the play now. Kidd's header, Durant up with Berry, here's Fleck. Monroe. Now Derek Ferguson. There's McCoist. Away from Jordan. Pulling it back for Burns. To Cooper. And Cooper has done it for Rangers. Davie Cooper in 35 minutes. His 7th goal of the season, and once again it's a masterpiece against Hearts. He did it, you may recall, at Tynecastle earlier in the season, and he's done it once again. Now this involved a fine build-up from Rangers. The pass finding Ali McCoist in the inside left position. He dragged it to the left, went past Sandy Jordan, played in the short cross. Hugh Burns was there. He turned, laid it into the path of Davie Cooper. He came forward in the cheekiest of toe pokes with the left foot, left Smith helpless. Cahoon back towards Kenny Black. A deflection and good handling by Woods. That was an awkward one for the keeper. The long clearance from Woods brings to an end a marvellous first half. And there's Ali McCoist, the scorer of the first goal and the maker of the second. A vintage performance from Rangers. In the 18th minute, it was Robert Fleck who came forward, tried a shot for goal, miscued, and there was Ali McCoist, a perfect opportunist to thunder the ball into the roof of the net. And then perhaps an even better goal in terms of creation on the 35th minute, when McCoy set it up on the left. Burns turned it back to Davie Cooper, and his close range shot beat Henry Smith to give Rangers a half-time lead which they thoroughly deserved. Rangers 2, Hearts 0 at half-time. So Rangers emerged in the second half to a tremendous welcome from their fans, and that rousing reception was certainly justified by their first half performance. They're starting again with Robert Fleck. No taken in the middle, and good play from Kenny Black. Well, Rangers owed a great deal in that first half to the electric pace up front of Robert Fleck, and that was it in evidence once again right at the start of the second half. Fleck forming a deadly partnership up front with Ali McCoist. There's Fleck again. He tried to chip the goalkeeper, I'm sure. Back goes Butcher. Jordan's header helped on its way by Black, but into touch for the Rangers throw, and Hart still finding it impossible to develop moves from midfield. The Rangers retain their stranglehold at the moment. Burns with a header. Here's McCoist. The ball was out for a throw. Nichols' interception. McCoist to Burns. Inside to Ferguson. Cooper hanging deep. Taking on Walter Kidd. Taking on the whole Hearts defence by himself and running into Neil Berry. Some howls for a penalty, correctly rejected by the referee. Ferguson to Monroe, now Cooper again. Oh, that's delightful play once more from Davie Cooper. Now McCoist on the turn, looking for help. Turning himself, Fleck! The underside of the bar, and Patterson's shot is blocked and cleared by Black. Well, Rangers at their best in an attacking force once again. Cooper initially with some beautiful play coming inside. He then fed Ali McCoist. McCoist turning brilliantly towards the byline, driving it across the face of the goal. Fleck with the first time shot off the underside of the bar, with Smith, I'm sure, completely stranded. Here's Kidd once again, closed down very rapidly by Ian Durant. There have been some thoughts among the Rangers fans that Ian Durant was perhaps looking a little bit tired after a very heavy start to the season. But his effervescent performance this afternoon certainly belies that. Nicholl's clearance high in the air, challenged by Clark. Chance was on for Black. The Rangers defence closing in now as they're put under pressure for one of the rare times in the match. Here's Berry. He's got help from Black. Back from Cahoon to Mackay. And a very important challenge by Derek Ferguson for Rangers. Prevented Mackay getting a clean shot at goal. Wide for Nicholl. And Black did well for Hearts. So we're just going past the hour mark in the match. Rangers still leading by 2-0, and for the most part looking extremely comfortable. There's a chance for Hugh Burns. Well, a gap opened up in the Hearts defence. Burns is thoroughly frustrated. And this really was a superb splitting pass from Jimmy Nicholl into the path of Burns. He saw the opportunity, drove forward, and in the last minute the shot rose over the bar. Cahoon to Robertson. Header from Butcher. Here's Davie Cooper now with McCoist on the left. Fleck through the middle. That's for Fleck. A great pass from Cooper. Fleck with a chance. And very good positioning indeed by Henry Smith. Oh, that's a fine pass from Ali McCoist. Cooper taking on Berry. Oh, great play from Cooper. Once again off the crossbar from Robert Fleck. Well, when you count up the near things for Rangers, it could have been a remarkable score this afternoon. But that again, starting with a sweeping pass from Ali McCoist to the far side. Cooper attacking Neil Berry, leaving him in the end for dead, hitting the byline, pulling it across the face of the goal to Fleck, and the first time shot comes off the face of the crossbar. Now it's Bell. Barged off the ball by Sandy Clark. Well, the show of dissent is wholly unnecessary. It appeared to be a clear foul. So a free kick taken short. Nicholl to Ferguson. There's McCoist. All the way back to Butcher. Davie Cooper. Once again teasing Neil Berry. Once again getting the better of him, and there's the chance again for Rangers! Durant! 3-0 to Rangers. Durant's 5th goal of the season, 39 minutes into the second half. And how about this for yet more magic from Davie Cooper? Taking the pass, going at Neil Berry, turning him, twisting, teasing, turning him around again, leaving him behind, and then threading the pass through for Ian Durant. A deadly finish, and Rangers now have the match completely sewn up. And there's the only sad aspect of the goal for Rangers, in fact, of the afternoon so far. Ian Durant appears to have taken a heavy knock as he was challenged in the act of scoring. Well, that's very sad indeed for Rangers. Durant forced to leave the field, leaving Rangers with 10 men. And that will provide an opportunity, I fancy, for Colin West to come on. Ian Durant is clearly not going to be fit to recover in time, and it's Colin West who's getting a roar from the Ibrox fans as he appears. So no more than 5 minutes for Colin West to make an impression. But some more valuable first-team match practice. So the applause you hear now is for Ian Durrant limping round the pitch to go to the dressing room, acknowledging the fans. A fine performance from the young player this afternoon. John Robertson. Kenny Black playing it forward. Foster trying to force his way through the Rangers defence, but to no avail. It's claimed by Woods. So Rangers now reaping sweet revenge for some defeats at the hands of Hearts over the last year or so. 2-0 defeat here Boxing Day last year at Ibrox, and then 3-1 drubbing at Tynecastle. It was one apiece in the first match between the clubs this season, but Rangers clearly the masters this afternoon. Well, McCoy's playing it back. There's Ferguson. And a buzz of anticipation greeting the arrival of Davie Cooper on the ball. Back it goes this time to Ferguson. Cooper again relishing the task this afternoon. Well, that's a fine ball from Ferguson, picking out Monroe on the left. Comes off Jordan, a corner kick to Rangers. And Rangers now keen to send their fans home even happier with a flourish at the finish. Davie Cooper towards Butcher. He did well to return it to Cooper. McCoy's missed it, so that everyone else except Neil Berry, who touched it away for Hearts. And Bell eases Clark off the ball to give Hearts the free kick. Now Whittaker trying to get away from Bell. Gary Mackay to Black. Here's Sandy Clark. Well, now into time added on for stoppages. Clark takes on Patterson to the byline, and Butcher tidies up for Chris Woods. Back now to Monroe. Rangers appear to be content with what they have, and there goes the final whistle. Applause all around the stadium for the Rangers players, and perhaps in particular for Davie Cooper, the scorer of the second goal and the creator of the third for Ian Durrant, with that fine piece of twisting and turning that pass into the path of Durrant, and that capped a superb performance from the Scotland winger.
Davie, how would you rate that team performance first of all?
Well, I think it was one of the best ones we've had, especially after Wednesday. We didn't get too good a result Wednesday, but we bounced back today, and I thought the boys played tremendous today.
I think that's a bit modest too, because you yourself had a game I think you'd be happy with, did you?
Yeah, very much. I got in the goal scoring act as well, and I think I was even more delighted after the way I played on Wednesday, because I felt I didn't play well on Wednesday at all, so it was good to bounce back and get a good game under my belt.
The second goal which you scored, which we had a rather obscure view of, tell us from your point of view how that came about.
Yeah, well, I was in inside left position and Hughie had made a run into the byline. They got the ball and I shouted for him to lay it inside, and I was going to hit it first time and I just delayed it, and I think that's what caught the defender as well. And as I went forward, I actually put it between his legs and it caught the keeper. I don't think Henry saw it come in between his legs, and he just got a hand to it, but luckily for me it went in, so I was delighted.
And then of course you had a big hand in the third goal. That seemed to be particularly satisfactory too from your point of view.
Yes, just one of these things. I was dribbling about looking for something to happen and trying to hold on to the ball, and I looked up and Ian was in a good position. I shoved it through. I thought maybe at first he may have been offside, but I think someone was playing him on side, the far side, you know.
From your own point of view too, you had a fine goal against Hearts at Tynecastle, so obviously you've some pleasure of playing against the Hearts just now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. That's 2 goals I've scored against them. There's another couple of games against them, so I hope I can keep it going.
And